Welcome to the podcast with your favorite cash flow guys, Mike and Blaine. Giving you the best advice while having a beer. When you're running a business, there are problems every day. Let Mike and Blaine help you out and guide your way. Cheers to the good times with Mike and Blaine for business, beer, and BS.
Hey, it's Mike and Blaine, episode 218, and we got something big. I'm Mike Blaine, Cash Flow Mike, and that is Blaine Birch, the CEO and co-founder of Dry Run, the best cash flow forecasting software on the planet. What's up, man? This is a big one.
It's big and hairy. This is the big and hairy episode close to the end of the year, so I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. If you guys are wondering and saw the preview of what we're talking about today, we decided to do a little bit of a pivot for next year because every year we're trying to figure out, hey, how should we come up with topics this year? A few years ago, it was all based on quotes, business quotes. We talk about them. So last year, Mike is just like, hey, what has been hitting me this week? And we would dive into it. For 2026, we just thought we would say, well, what's out in the ether? What are people talking about? What's top of mind? What's pop culture? And that's going to be the impetus, is that the right word, for the topic for the week. And somehow through this and talking about some brands related to the Yeti and Sasquatch and everything, but quite frankly, the conversation just started around Bigfoot. So that's what the root of our topic today is Bigfoot. And man, we're gonna explore that from A to Z, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, because it's not a top of mind conversation unless you're talking about Bigfoot. I mean, that's just every conversation ends up there somehow.
Well, yeah, like it has to. Naturally.
Yeah, like what? Did you even try to bring in Bigfoot? What happened?
Yeah, like, come on, guys. How many episodes have you done without talking about Bigfoot?
Yeah. Like, it's always business, beer, and BS. We want some Bigfoot.
We want some Bigfoot, so there'll be plenty of BS. But, it also, I guarantee you with Mike and I, it's going to dive into some really interesting business and branding areas because it has to. There's always some interesting stuff going on in the world of commerce and business. So you won't, don't be surprised a little bit of that sneaks in. But before we dive into our topic today, what are you drinking?
Hey, you know what? Mallory picked out my beer this week. We were at the grocery store and she goes, I'm going to pick out your podcast beer this week. Nice. So I let her, and it kind of fits with Bigfoot. She didn't even know we were doing Bigfoot. But it's a new brewery. She goes, have you done Fast Friends before? I'm like, no, I haven't. But look, check this out. It's Fast Friends on a hike. Guess what you might see on a hike? Well, maybe Bigfoot.
Exactly.
Or
beauty.
Or just some dude in flannel with bad posture. It's one of those two. It's going to be one of those two.
Perfect. I was just saying, if I was going to the grocery store after I knew the topic, I'd get a Yeti stout, but I didn't. So I have got Trippin' Animals, which I actually really love this brewery. I've been getting a lot from them, especially last year. Everjuice, and it's a double dry hopped hazy DIPA. But what I kind of caught my eye was it was a crocodile drinking beer, also by a lake. So I just thought that's kind of a fun one. So Trippin' Animals, that's what I got going today.
Yeah, well, it's funny is we got both kind of like more cartoony character ones. This is a hazy IPA, and I just took my first drink off of it, and my goodness, it's really good.
Yeah.
And
they're good today.
And I actually told Mallory, I said, Blaine's going to love it because he loves art on the cans, and I always got just no art on cans. So
that's a fun one. I always love when they got some good cans going on here. So this is a good one too. I really like these guys' beer. If you've never had Trippin' Animals, I'm not even sure where these guys are from. Something tells me Florida. They're from Florida. Maybe that's why there's a crocodile on there. Alligator. It's probably an alligator, not a crocodile if it's in Florida, I guess, eh?
Oh, well, these guys are in Austin. So I should have known that. Yeah.
Semi-local.
Very cool. Yeah. Speaking of people that like to drink beer with us, we got Karen Harrison up in Michigan. She's the best-selling Amazon author of Stop Growing Broke, Start Growing Your Profits. And, she's with 3S Smart Consulting. So if you're looking for cash flow help and you need an advisor, check out Karen up in Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. And Larry Weinstein, if you're looking for a CPA and you're down in Houston or frankly anywhere, Larry's a top CPA in Houston, Texas, and you can track him down on his website. You got to tell me the website again. I always forget the name of it.
It's let's see, the Cashflow Cowboys at the cashflowranch.com.
Cashflow Ranch. I always think Cashflow Cowboy, but it's the cashflowranch.com. You got to go check that out. Get in touch with Larry. He'll get you all straightened out.
And he was on a call this morning with me, and he had the hat on, right? So this guy's going all in. I mean, it's all cowboy with Larry.
Nice. That's good. That's classic. Yeah. That's a good job, Larry. Appreciate the support as always.
Yeah. So we got I only because I heard them talking earlier. I think he called on Saturday even. I mean, like, who's working on a Saturday? Somebody that is the biggest LSU fan on the planet. He's out there grinding, making money, making customers happy, doing his stuff on LSU campus. So Devin is one of our beer sponsors. He is all the way through past the end of the year, right? He's actually already he's our first 2026 beer sponsor, is Devin. So yeah, very much appreciated.
Well into the year. And Rachel Barnett with Gentle Frog. If you're using QuickBooks Online to help run your business, you need to know how to use it. Go over and check out her YouTube channel at Gentle Frog or gentlefrog.com, and you'll learn everything you need to know about QuickBooks Online.
Yep. And Too Late Neighbor Pat. I'm calling him Too Late now. That's my nickname because he calls me up after already. I already have beer for this podcast. He's like going, do you need podcast beer for tomorrow? No, we're doing it today and I already have it. So Too Late, Pat. That's probably the dumbest one I've ever done. But yeah. So I already had it, but he did try to produce beer for this podcast. I'll catch it on the flip side.
And we appreciate it, Pat. And if I'm going to jump in here, if you guys want to know how you can be a beer sponsor for 2026, just go to mikeandblaine.com, buy us a beer, $5 a beer. Every beer you buy us, we'll mention you on an episode. So, and we have people all the time buying beer for the entire year, and we mention them 52 weeks or, well, probably a couple holidays in there, 50 weeks a year. And go to mikeandblaine.com, find out about the show. Make sure you buy us a beer, but also please like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends. I'm going to ask early because we always ask at the end, but I'm not sure who's around for the last 30 seconds of the show.
There you go. So, hey, so the big fat hairy truth about Bigfoot, right? That's where we ended up. This is going to be really fun. This 2026 because we're going to no topics really off the table. It's going to be our take on what's happening in the world right now. So it's not always going to be business, but we're going to try to pivot into it, try to maybe, get a little business in there. But this Bigfoot thing is interesting because you want to talk about brand awareness and you want to talk about brand consistency. Bigfoot ain't changed, right? Since I was a kid, since my dad was a kid, since my grandfather was a kid, it's been the same story and the same, mysteriousness around his brand forever.
And it's so much is still based on that same video from the 70s or 80s that we all saw growing up. Still probably the most, famous video on Bigfoot ever. And the way this topic kind of came to mind, and I was thinking, hey, this is real pop culture and forward, in the front of people's brains, is it kept showing up in one of my social feeds. And I think you pointed out, it's probably because I saw something one time, it just got fed into my feed. I must have clicked on it because it's Bigfoot. Like, how am I not going to click on Bigfoot? And now I get stuff in my feed all the time about Bigfoot. And the interesting part for me is not like the actual Bigfoot, but starting to think about, Yeti and all of the different beers and the Yeti mugs and all of this. How many brands are based on this Bigfoot, this Yeti, this Sasquatch? And yet, like you said, it really hasn't changed. It's like this myth is concrete somehow, which is kind of weird for a myth, eh?
Yeah, but the topic for me right now is so just on point and relevant because tomorrow I leave for the Pacific Northwest, and I don't know what it is. It seems like that's the only place they really see this guy is in Oregon or Washington or something like that. He's always, is it a he? Is it a she? Is it a they? Is it generational? I mean, who knows? But that's where they see him.
That's where they see him. But we hear about him up in Canada all of the time. And what's interesting though is it's kind of well known in all areas of the world. So how did that happen? Like Yeti, I think, isn't that from what country is that? That's not North America. Yeti.
No, I don't know.
Pretty sure
It sounds almost like Norwegian or Alaskan or something. I mean, it sounds like. But think about it. He's got at least 3 names. He's got
more
Bigfoot.
Yep.
He's got more than that. Okay, so Sasquatch.
Yep.
He's got Yeti.
Abominable Snowman is another one.
That's the same guy.
Same guy, except that he's white and in the mountains, in other areas of the world. I actually think that it's a common legend that actually part of this is what's been showing up my social feeds, and I've been catching little bits of it and going, oh wow, this is like all over the place. It's just supposed sightings. Almost any place where it's wooded, there seem to be supposed sightings, but they've never found like a skeleton or anything. So that seems a little fishy to me.
All right. So how come nobody can get a picture of this thing? How come nobody can get a picture? Nobody. And they've tried, and they've, I guess there was another video that came out that was disproven to somebody when in like a gorilla suit or something like that. But nobody can get a picture. He's either the best at evasive photobombing or whatever. But anytime they get a picture, it's blurry. You're like, maybe. It's the same thing with UFOs. It's the same thing with Loch Ness Monster. The problem with UFOs and Loch Ness Monsters, they don't have a successful merchandise line like like Bigfoot does.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what's I heard someone say one time, the reason there's never been a clear picture is because when it's a clear picture, you can tell what it is. It's like, it's not a UFO, it's a balloon or something. And like I've been out in the, I've been out in the woods a lot. You can't take that as any evidence, but I find it very hard to believe that something like that would be around this long and you've never seen, like I said, any bones, so I think it's a bit of a myth, but where would it come from? How come so many places seem to have the same kind of myth? And it's a myth that is pervasive, and it influences all these brands. How many businesses and products have been named after this kind of mythical creature, right?
Well, all right. So I just asked Chelsea, I'm like going, how many sightings has there been? Do you think there's been that many? I don't think there's been that many, right? You don't like hear about it every week. Like, I don't even know. I've never even talked to somebody that saw one or said they saw them.
No, me neither. But I don't hear the stories as much about them in Alberta. Well, I've never actually heard of anyone that says they have seen one, though. Yeah, I don't know. But everyone knows what it is, right?
If your friend came to you, like I came to you and said, dude, I was in Portland and I don't know if it was a guy in flannel with a big beard or if it was a Sasquatch, but I saw it. Would you believe me?
Well, I would believe you saw something, but I probably lean towards dude in flannel.
Yeah, dude in flannel. All right, so between the U.S. and Canada, it looks like just the continental United States is where this thing is, North America. Which makes sense. I mean, you're not getting in like a boat and going somewhere, I wouldn't think.
But look up Yeti. Find out where Yeti's from.
Okay. Well, this one, though, there's 3,313 sightings from 1921 to 2013. So only 3,000 sightings in almost 100 years.
Yeah, they must be pretty sneaky.
All right, so let's ask about how.
Ask about Yeti, because I'm curious if that's because I'm sure they're from completely different areas of the world. With Yeti or Abominable Snowman, I think are from totally different areas.
Maybe Yeti is not Bigfoot. Maybe we're confusing it.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, it is.
They're the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going up to Pacific Northwest, and there's companies that lean into this thing. Like there's a like a coffee shop called Bigfoot Java, right? Yep. And it's a drive-through coffee shop, and I think they got like kind of a paw or I think it's just a Bigfoot on it. It's just a Bigfoot, is kind of their marketing logo.
Yeah.
Right. There's also a beer brand up there called Kokanee. You ever seen that? I used to buy that every once in a while. Yeah, Kokanee. Yep. They have a mascot named Mel, which is a Bigfoot type character, and they nicknamed it Mel.
Mel.
and they use it in their commercials. Yeah, Mel. Just like, what is it, Jack's Links? Oh my God, some of the funniest commercials out there is like messing with Bigfoot, and it's Jack's Links beef jerky. You seen that?
I have. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Is that? It seems like those were like a couple of years ago, because I don't think I don't recall seeing that kind of angle for a while. But there was a bunch of different commercials. Maybe they're more on YouTube and stuff now.
All right, so Yetis are from the Himalayas.
Himalayas, that's what I was trying to think of, the Himalayas.
Yeah. Nepal and Tibet and Bhutan and, it's all of that. So the Himalayas, and it's been around a lot longer than, we'll say,
okay.
It says it's deep cultural roots. There's been no confirmed biological evidence of it, though.
Yeah.
So we don't know that one either.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I mean, one of the cool things that I saw here is that the 1950s, when there were the large footprints that were found in the Himalayas, kind of started all that in the 20th century.
Okay. Yeah. Imagine it's just some guy with a foot stamp started everything.
Yeah.
But it reminds me a little bit of that Route 66, where they've got all the UFO everything. They got shops and restaurants and everything all themed by UFO. That, I think, is the commercial side is probably what actually moves it forward the most. It's not even people with sightings. It's that there was enough of this little root of a story that's kind of fun, could probably help draw people in, draw in tourists. It's like we've talked about before, the St. Paul, Alberta has the UFO landing pad. Or is it Vulcan? Might have been Vulcan, Alberta. Has the UFO landing pad. They built a whole landing pad, but it's just to draw people in. It's to give some weird little tourist thing, right? Well, Sasquatch, Yeti, whatever would be a really fun sort of thing to draw in tourists and to brand your restaurants and your shops and make some little souvenirs out of, right?
Yeah, so I'm convinced now that the Yeti and the Bigfoot are two different things. Right? Yeti is also called the abominable snowman.
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot's also called Sasquatch.
Sasquatch, yeah.
Two different parts of the world, two different halves of the world, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, they are. They're not exactly the same thing, except I think the Yeti probably just has white fur. But basically, it's the same thing. It's a big, tall humanoid covered with fur that looks like Chewbacca, right?
Yeah. You know what? I've seen a beer before called Bigfoot. Who does that? Sierra Nevada.
Okay.
I think they have one called Bigfoot. It's like, it's like I don't know, some type of ale that they have. So, but I think people are already leaning into this. I mean, if I was to guess, I think Bigfoot's sponsored by REI because it's all this outdoor stuff. I mean, that would be the perfect thing, right? Yep. REI say, hey, you want to see Bigfoot? And then you got to have your official Bigfoot shirt on, your official Bigfoot jacket on, and boots, and those type of things.
Well, and what's interesting, like on that kind of branding side, it was the Utah hockey team, who's now the Utah Mammoth. They started out trying to trademark the Utah Yeti, but the Yeti wouldn't be in the mountains there because that's actually from the Himalayas. It would have been Bigfoot or Sasquatch, except Utah Yeti sounds way better than Utah Sasquatch. Like it's a mouthful, right? But then they couldn't because the drink, the mug company Yeti blocked them because they said it would be a trademark violation if the hockey team ever tried to sell any coolers, mugs, anything like that. So they blocked the trademark and they went with the Utah Mammoth, which is just not nearly as cool and as fun.
I think I'm surprised, and maybe the Utah hockey team just didn't want to fight it, but I'm surprised that could have blocked it. I realize they filed for opposition. Hey, we don't sell coolers or koozies and those type of things. That's, I don't think there's a confusion there. If I saw Utah Yetis and know it's the mascot for a hockey team, I don't think I'm confusing it for the brand Yeti, the coolers and koozies and all that. Maybe so, but
If it's on, I
I
think
thought
if
that
it's
was a weak one.
on, I think if it's on the same type of, because the I don't know how far the trademark extends for Yeti with their coolers and mugs, because they may have actually extended it to do other types of products, and then the hockey team starts to brand products. There's just enough crossover there, I imagine, to make it kind of messy.
Well, and if I remember right, I was listening to somebody, or maybe I read it, where I thought they were also trying to trademark the silhouette of the Bigfoot, and that might have been where the confusion was. Right? It was
Hmm.
the actual. It wasn't the word so much, or wasn't the because the mark of the word is pretty distinct for Yeti. When you look at it on their stuff, it's pretty distinct. Oh, that's the
Yeah,
cooler company.
yeah.
I think it was their use of the actual silhouette of Bigfoot.
Yeah, it could be. It's because you see that a lot, actually. I'm even thinking of, some of the commercial products and things. I know it's been in a lot of different craft beers, and like the Yeti Stout is one that I can think of. And I think there was even kind of silhouettes are used quite often there. And I can see it because they're trying to have, it's a mysterious character. It's a mysterious, you kind of see it through the haze and that. So it'd probably be a really common way to brand. And then there could be some potential like problems with that, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, so let's think about evolution, right? Because this guy, we'll just say he's evolved, or he's developed skills, or he's developed language, even, or understands what's happening. Uh, could there be a possibility of a crossover into civilization? They could get do you think Bigfoot could get away with it?
Well,
Hey, that's the funny thing about this show now is I can ask anything I want to.
no, you know what I think is quite interesting is I think if an actual Bigfoot just like walked into downtown Seattle, walked in, it would be the biggest news on the planet for about a week. And then it would be like, now he's taking up 2 chairs in the restaurants. Like people get annoyed. They're making me make my doors bigger. But because that's how fast people get used to things, right? Like it's the biggest news in the world, and then it's just like, how come my extra, my Wi-Fi isn't as fast? Like people get used to stuff so quickly. It's like the driverless car. First time I got in a driverless car, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And now it's just like they're all over town and just like, you don't even notice them. No one cares. They don't even notice them. It's literally a robot driving people around. I think it would be the biggest story, but it would also fade really quickly. But wouldn't it be interesting if it was like this one, yet or Sasquatch came in and said, yeah, there's a bunch of us. We've been hiding out, but the turkey smells really good at the restaurant. We thought maybe we just kind of come into town, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of Yeti coming into town or Sasquatch. I wonder how fast people get used to it.
Yeah, and that sent me down a whole different rabbit hole of, do they learn how to drive? Is it a new clothing line just to fit into them? Do they have jobs now? What kind of job would they have? Like park ranger or something?
They'd probably be really good at that. Probably be awesome at that. What's kind of okay? So here's an interesting question, because people have been searching for Bigfoot for, probably whatever it was, 100 and some years, 200 years, whatever it is, right? They've been searching for Bigfoot. They have never found evidence, truly evidence, right? But if someone actually found a Bigfoot today, all they could probably do is take pictures, right? Like you can't capture it. It's another living being of some type. can't just capture it. Like that's not really kosher. So you can take pictures, but pictures today are like, most of them are AI or faked or whatever. So no one's going to believe your picture anyway. So would anyone truly be ever able to monetize Bigfoot outside of using it to brand things? But the actual Bigfoot, even if they saw it, they knew it was alive, it's kind of like, it's almost the point where they would be able to introduce Bigfoot to the rest of the world. Is the same time that Bigfoot would basically have rights to be able to go, yeah, I'm just going to go grab a coffee in town, right?
No, I think it's obvious they would, they would treat Bigfoot just like they treated King Kong back in the movies. Right?
You think so?
Somebody's going to want to capture it and go, hey, you can't be walking around with other people. We don't know what you're going to do. People are,
I don't think that would fly today. I don't think that would fly today. Not at all. I think, and I would be probably the first one. If I was walking downtown and someone came in with a truck and they had a big cage, it's like, we caught Bigfoot. I'm like, you asshole. Like, what right does it give you to take some, like, you can't just take something and because no one's ever seen it before and put it in a cage. Like, screw you. I'd be pissed.
But humans have done that forever. You're like,
I know, but I don't think the reaction would be quite the same. I think the reaction would be less fascination and more, don't be such an asshole. That's what I would say.
Okay. Maybe if Bigfoot could talk, that if it couldn't talk and it just made grunting noises and really didn't understand what it's saying, would you think about it the same way, or would you think about it like a bear? Would you let a bear just walk around down? People freak out now when bears walk around downtown.
Well, bears have a bit of a record.
Well,
they do. They have a little bit of a record.
Bigfoot scares the hell out of people.
Yeah, but I don't know of any like guaranteed Bigfoot attacks, right? But I still wouldn't want someone taking a bear into downtown in a cage to try and make a spectacle of it, right? Like that's not cool. But how do you know it's not speaking? Like it's making noise. How do you know that's not language? Just because I don't speak the language doesn't mean it's not language.
You can say the same thing about a dog. Yeah, I know what he's saying.
Well, he's language, maybe doesn't speak English, but he might speak something, and I don't know what it is.
Hey, if that dog is hungry or wants to go outside or somebody's in the yard shouldn't be there, I know exactly what that dog's saying.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that's the thing. If you spend enough time with Bigfoot, you'd probably know. You probably
at night, I put him in his room, and at night I put him in his room with his little, fence up, so he just doesn't wander around the house at night.
Yeah, our little bird speaks English actually, so we have an easier time understanding when he's hungry because he says, "Are you hungry?" So he knows. Actually, speaks with a Canadian accent.
Okay, so does it really? Your bird does?
Well, yeah. What else? It's not going to have a Texas drawl. No, he's listening to us all the time.
I didn't know that birds could have accents. That's interesting.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah, they could. Yeah.
Huh, interesting. All right. So you're up in Alaska and a moose walks down the street. Mm-hmm. People kind of freak out. Don't kind of freak out.
Nah, not really.
Bear walks down the street. Kind of freak out. Don't freak out.
Alaska, you know what? I don't think they would that much, actually. They'd be careful, but I don't think they'd freak out.
All right. Bigfoot walks down the street in Alaska. What do you think they're doing?
I think they just watch it. I don't think anyone's actually going to do much. I think they would just watch it walk by because they've probably seen moose and bear and all that walking through the streets. You see that up, when I'm up in, like you're up in Jasper or Banff or whatever, the only time I feel I'm worried about, there's always like elk walking around town. If you've seen those are big. They're pretty big, not moose big, but they're big, especially a giant bull in the fall, right? And they can get kind of ornery in the fall. And the only time I'm concerned is when you see the tourists walking up and trying to get a picture and cozy up to the next, right, next to a 500-pound freaking elk with it's like, that's how you end up with a dead tourist if you're not so careful, right? But if they're further off, you just kind of sit and watch. I think, like I said, it would be a spectacle the first time. By the second time, people will be like, "Oh, there's Larry," like.
Oh, you said Larry. My mind went as soon as you said that. Harry and the Hendersons movie popped into my head.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
You remember like where they had a Bigfoot come live with them.
That's maybe where Larry came from. Larry Weinstein, not from you, Larry. Just was probably thinking Harry.
That's funny. Hey, so Bigfoot's a little mysterious, a little complicated, a little complex, a little, maybe even hard to understand. Just like some people's data, right? And if you have data in your company that's complex, it's hard to understand, it's a little bit mysterious, I want you to contact Blaine over at Dry Run because he has just the tool to bring it into light and tame it down.
Yeah, especially when your data that you don't have enough of a look at is your cash flow. Number one, we're going to help you get an understanding of your cash flow and where you're headed with it. And especially if your business is kind of complicated, mid-market, multi-entity, lots of people involved, trickier, the better. Come and talk with us. We'll get you out of those spreadsheets. We'll save your team hours every day. And we're going to deliver information that the management team can make use of and understand. So come visit us at dryrun.com and we'll get you all set up.
Got it. And nice box, Rick. Love that.
You said another box. I'm going to have to go over to the chat.
No, this time he just said box, because it was like a square before. He would just send something with a square.
Oh yeah. I don't. There's something wrong with your computer, man, because we just get these little boxes in chat.
Hey, but to finish up, yes, if you have troubles with your data, if you need to make sense of it, contact Blaine over at Dry Run. So I thought that was smooth, right? Huh? That was smooth. That wasn't from business to business. That was from Bigfoot to business.
Bigfoot to business, and it stuck right in. That was good work, man. That was good work.
Yeah, right on. So, all right. So, Harry and the Hendersons. Do you remember anything about the movie? I don't even remember anything.
Not
how
really.
Did it happen?
Yeah, I not really.
What was that? Was that the 80s or 90s? 90s? 80s?
Something feels it was either late 80s or early 90s. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Chelsea because I can't remember. It's been so long ago. It's got to be in the 90s. I'm thinking maybe even 2000s because of.
I don't. Well, it could be, but kids. I didn't think it was that sort of new.
No,
it didn't seem to have a whole lot of.
It's way old.
Didn't seem to have that much lasting or staying power. That movie, I think it was.
No, but it came out around the same time as remember all those. Brendan Fraser caveman type movies and things like that, where he was a frozen something or another, and he came out. So
yeah.
Anyway,
Encino Man.
Oh, so the whole thing. So it's 87. I guess it was a long time ago, right?
Oh,
87. The whole thing is this.
A long time ago.
The whole thing was this: a family hits Bigfoot with their car on a camping trip and think he's dead. They bring him home. Turns out he's alive and weirdly lovable. and they name him Harry, right? And try to integrate him into urban life or suburban life. But they said the whole time, okay, so during that whole thing, they have to protect him from scientists and everything else. Mm-hmm. I think that's what would happen here is that somebody's going to try to, look, Rick's getting right in there, right? His head sticking out of the car. Yeah, see, got it, Rick, got it. 1987.
Yeah, you saw
that's what would happen. Oh, Rick's a big fan. He's got the movie poster on his bedroom wall still from the 80s. From the 80s. Yeah. We had Cheryl Teagues and Farrah Fawcett. He had Harry and Hendersons.
Yeah, and it just was some guy in a mullet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. What even Bigfoot or Harry and Hendersons? It was just a mullet guy, right? It was Joe Dirt. It was Joe
Dirt. Yeah.
So anyway, think about that. I think if there's one in town, somebody's going to snatch him up. The government or some company is going to snatch him up and try to figure him out. You won't see him. You won't see him ever.
Yeah, but boy, you know what? Yeah, I could see the government or scientists or something trying to do that. But it's still, do they have the right to do that? And it actually goes down to, again, like, how would you monetize it? If you actually found Bigfoot, you actually had really good proof of Bigfoot, how could you monetize it? Because there's suddenly it gets into I imagine a really tricky legal area of, well, what kind of rights does this being have, right? Which should be leave him the hell alone. He ain't hurting anybody, but people wreck a lot of stuff. They're good at wrecking stuff and being kind of dicks.
Yeah. So the way I think about this now, I mean, we're saying trying to assimilate it, it. Do we call it it? Is that hurting their feelings?
Him or her.
If we call it so, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Him
No,
or
but
whatever,
you have him or her for everything else. So I think it'd probably be a him or her or they. They is probably the easiest. You don't know if it's
and I don't. Yeah. So I don't remember the story, right, of Harry and the Hendersons, but all of a sudden I'm like, Bigfoot lives in my house. Where does he pee? Does he pee in the house? Does he go outside and pee by the tree? Or does he pee at all? I mean, now I got weird stuff in my head. Like, what happens to this guy when he has to go to the bathroom? Is it just going to be on the floor like a dog? Do you hit it with the newspaper on the nose? I mean, how do you train it?
Well, okay, let's just talk about the legend of Bigfoot. They aren't stupid. Like they're first of all, they haven't been seen by anybody, but the legends are always seem to be that it's closer to people than anything else, except it's big, tall, and hairy. So I don't know if you have to teach it. I think it knows way more than you think it would.
Hey, so let's think about it differently, right? Because when I think of Bigfoot, that's just in our conversation, that's just somebody that doesn't fit in. All right, so I'm gonna go a little farther out with it. Like, well, that's somebody that doesn't fit in. Maybe it's an idea that's like comes out of nowhere, that's been haunting you in your sleep, and you finally you just can't get your eye on it. It's fuzzy. It's always blurry. It's always something that evades you. Right? I mean, you can use Bigfoot as a connection back to your life somehow.
Okay, I just had a thought.
What?
Got a thought. What if all you scientists out here, what if the reason no one has ever found like a dead Bigfoot or a carcass of Bigfoot is because Bigfoot, Yeti, Abominable Snowman don't live there? I'm merging it. I'm tying the two together. What if they're the aliens that are coming in on UFOs? That's why you never,
okay.
Right? Because they're always leaving and they're never alone. And so if one of them, for whatever reason, just kind of passed out and, like had a get, just lying on the path, their buddies come and get them, throw them back on the old UFO and off they go. So maybe they actually don't live there. Maybe they're visitors.
All right.
And I'm only partly
I can go with that. All right. Well, see, you went right back to just something mythical. I was like trying to tie this to like, maybe we could use Bigfoot as a metaphor for something else, but you went just full blown crazy person with your idea. I say it's crazy.
Okay, or does it all add up?
I gotta tell you, the more I hear about UFOs, aliens, they're not UFOs anymore, right? They're like UAPs or something like that.
They got to change. I hate when, powers that be go and change acronyms after 100 years. People know what the acronym. Well, we're going to change it to make it sound better or something. They change it and everyone's lost for the next 10 years again. It drives me nuts. It's a UFO. It's okay. I don't know.
The reason why they can't say UFO. Yeah. The reason why they can't do this because they now suspect or know based on video footage that they don't just fly, they also go in the water. So that's why they changed it to UAP, and it's something about unidentified. I don't forget what it was, some type of transmedium thing where it goes both air and water.
It still flies, and honestly, if that's when they're seeing it, is when it's flying. It's a duck. It's fine.
All right, so this is way off topic with Bigfoot, but there's this new documentary out called Age of Disclosures, where this guy interviewed a bunch of folks that either have firsthand knowledge or super close to the fact that there is some type of program where it's like a race, right? It's a race between the superpowers to reverse engineer a lot of this alien technology that's been found in crashes and other places, including biological elements, right? I mean, people. Like aliens, right? They know what they look like. They've seen them. How do you introduce? Like, how would you introduce Bigfoot to the world? How do you introduce if Bigfoot's an alien to the world? How do you introduce?
Okay, so if there was, because there's this idea that if people knew that there were actual aliens and they introduced an alien, like chaos would ensue because people would all freak out and their belief systems would all crumble, and that I honestly think it's the opposite. I think it would be interesting for a day or two and then a collective yawn as people got back to their phones. Like I think it'd be, it's like, oh, that's interesting, and a bit of a collective shrug. I don't even think it. I think it's almost
gonna be way more of a freak out, dude. I mean, people freak out about words on the internet. I mean, you see an alien, drop down in the neighborhood. There's not going to be a collective yawn. There's going to be a freak out and fucking do something about it. There's going to be people.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of people walking up trying to show them the phone to say, "Look what this asshole said on X." And still, they get more, still be more intrigued by that garbage. I don't know. That's my feeling. Is I actually think that it's probably okay. I don't think it makes any sense at all that that Earth is the only place with life in the entire universe. That to me is ludicrous. That doesn't even make sense. But are aliens visiting us? The problem that I have with that, and I have my doubts, is because it's so far away, and it doesn't mean they found a way to speed it up to get, like when they talk about the closest stars and all that, the closest stars to Earth is 100 light years away. You realize that's going light speed for 100 years. It's too far. It's impossibly far. So unless there's something science hasn't figured out yet where you can somehow shortcut it, which maybe they'll find a way, it's just too bloody far. Look, it just is. How do you cover that much distance, right, without everything dying 80,000 times over?
The theory now is that, like, even these UFOs that tend to go in directions that seem unnatural or impossible at speeds that seem like crazy speeds, is that they are operating inside a bubble that actually contains time and space that allows that type of movement, because there's no natural constraint inside this bubble that's around the ship itself. So that's me crossing over the crazy time. But it makes sense when people, talk about it. It's like going, oh, yeah, I can see how if they're operating inside their own bubble where time or space or constraints don't matter, then it can move in any direction at any speed. Mm-hmm. And all it's doing is occupying a different space.
Yeah, but I guess the issue I have with that is the bigger thing of, okay, if people have seen these fast moving objects where they kind of have some really crappy photography of it or a little bit of video, it still comes down to, but why haven't they landed in Times Square and started talking to people? Like why is it just somebody in a plane saw something that looked weird, and that's the only thing you ever get?
Yeah, but apparently in this new documentary called Age of Disclosures, they talk about how there was a meeting between, I'll say U.S. leaders, world leaders or whatever, and the aliens that did occur in some point in the past. I don't know what point in the past. They talk as early as like early 2000s.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Hey, is it?
It's really easy to make a documentary and make whatever up, because I could just be like, yeah, the leaders of Canada met with the Yeti delegation in Banff, at the Banff Springs. Like, who's gonna, like, everyone's say, well, that's bullshit, but like, I don't know. It seems to me that that's not a documentary. That's a documentary the same way that Spinal Tap is a documentary.
Well, yeah, maybe I can make a closer connection to aliens than I can Bigfoot, which is really weird, because you're like, Bigfoot looks like it's something that could exist.
Could be a crossover.
Aliens, exactly. Not so much. And the thing is that 15 years ago, I was the total opposite. Like, No aliens, definitely Bigfoot. And now I'm like going, maybe not a Bigfoot, but definitely aliens.
I just can't see like the virtually almost probably infinite number of stars, infinite the fact that the idea that Earth somehow is the only place where life showed up is kind of ridiculous to me. And when scientists say, well, it's well, how come no one's ever arrived or whatever? Like I said, it's because it's a long way. But the other thing is, out of all the billions and billions and billions of life forms on Earth since the beginning of Earth's timeline, how many of them can build a rocket? Billions of life forms.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe we just got fluky that one not only can build a rocket, but actually feels like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm always amazed that we can. Just all the things we argue about, and there's so much talent in the world doing some crazy, ridiculous things, right? I mean, and it's weird how just somebody gets fixated on an idea, and I'll say Elon Musk gets fixated on an idea and says, "We can do this. This is something we can totally do," right? Like going to Mars. Dude, that was total sci-fi, comic book stuff as a kid. And now I'm like going, oh, you have something on Mars?
Yeah.
And it didn't take billions of years to get there, or hundreds of years to get there. Think about that, right? So it is light years, because how far away is Mars? Is light years really as far as they've estimated, or is it just a guesstimate?
No, Mars isn't even like 1 light year. I'm positive it's not even remotely close. You can't. That's what I'm talking about. The distance to Mars is like, comparatively to the next star, it would be like taking a couple steps to your left versus trying to go around the globe 10 times. Like it's not even in the same area code, right?
Yeah, so I'm trying to. I just asked Chelsea how far away Mars is,
because I'm pretty sure I thought they said with Mars they could get
3 months, right?
Yeah, it's a number of months.
6 months.
I think it might be like 6 months, but 6 months going the tiniest fraction of light speed. People I can't get. They're not even remotely in the area code of light speed. So when you get to light speed and you're 1,000 light years away, 100 light years, 1,000,000 light years. Like, no, you're not going. You're just not going, right? It's like an ant trying to walk around the globe 30 times before it dies. It ain't happening.
All right, so this is saying, all right, the distance from Earth to Mars, it varies, right, depending on where they are in the multiple orbits, but the closest is about 34 million miles. So on average, and the farthest is about 401 million miles. So the average you're saying is about 225 million kilometers. Oh, I'm sorry, 140 million miles. And they only line up at the closest every 2 years, every 26 months. So they're saying that there's closer stars to Earth than Mars, which is really weird.
Okay, so this would be 1 light year in kilometers. Yeah. Okay. 9.46 trillion kilometers. That's what I'm saying. So Mars is not even like 6 months to Mars is nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, people right now go so slow. The fastest rockets that they can ever come up with go so slow. It's not even a thing. They can't even get out of our solar system barely, let alone, I don't know if they ever have, let alone getting to the point where they could go like 1 light year, 9.46 kilometers. So if you had 100, maybe the closest star, let's say it was, I don't know if it is 100 light years away, that would be 900 trillion kilometers. Like this.
Yeah, it's saying even at its closest, nothing's closer to Mars. Yeah. So there's only one star, in our system, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is saying? Okay.
There's only one star in our solar system because that's what makes it a solar system. It's the sun, right? Like one star.
Got it. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
let me
learning.
just
See this. I didn't think I'd be learning on this episode. I mean, we're talking about Bigfoot, by the way.
Oh yeah, and as we put the shorts online, everyone will flame us because we don't know anything. But the closest star to Earth is Proxima Centauri. Okay, no, I didn't know this. So the Proxima Centauri is 4.24 light years away, but that would be 36 trillion miles. So it's still quite a long way. So maybe it's the closest one that actually has cool planets floating around. I don't know, maybe. It says it has at least one planet in its habitable zone. But you're still talking about no one can get even close to light speed. Like, not even close. Like, it's just, that's moving.
All right, so back to Bigfoot.
All right.
All right, back to Bigfoot. I look at it as if somebody had a Bigfoot, right? like Harry and the Hendersons, and brought it in their house, and they're trying to protect it from the world. Man, I mean, there's one of two things. Is that like an idea you're trying to protect, right? Meaning I'm trying to connect it to business. Or, now I'm going to say something really dumb. Was Harry from Harry and the Hendersons actually the original Sasquatch support animal, like a service animal? I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, so like I can take it out because this is my support Sasquatch?
That might be that loophole that keeps everybody away. So the government shows up at your door and you say, it's my support Sasquatch.
Oh, sorry, we can't do it. See, we can use our own rules against them.
Yeah, we're out. Thanks for letting us know. So would you get an extra seat on the airplane for them? But boy, like they'd be, I didn't even think their knees would be up to their chin. Like, I don't even think you could fit them in the seat. So.
But anyway, I think when you think about these mythical creatures, like we've been doing, I still keep going back to the idea where it's just an idea that you have that evades you. It's just blurry. It never comes into the focus, right? And what would you do if it did? What if you could really, that thing that's been bothering you for years that you think if you can just introduce it to the world, it changes humanity or it changes, the world around you somehow. But you can't get it into focus, right? That's what it, from a real life perspective, to me, that's what Bigfoot means, or Loch Ness, or whatever. It's that idea we can't get around.
That's deep, man.
I know I'm super deep. What the hell beer is this? Mata.
How's my driving, man? I think we're parked, what's man.
That's right. Yeah, Cheech and Chong. But what's the matter you? That's what.
There you go.
Mata. What's the matter? Oh, speaking of yesterday, so that's where that came. That Mata. I was making fun of Mal because she was all sad. You know how emotional teenage girls are sometimes. They're sad. And my dad used to walk around the house and sing this song, and it's called "Shut Up Your Face," right? But I didn't know that until I asked Alexa to play the song because I didn't know that's the name of the song is "Shut Up Your Face." I thought it was "What's the Matter You," right? That's what I thought because the way he would do it was "What's the matter you? Why you look so sad? It's a nice place." It's this thing. Well, at the end of so shut up your face. So why you say it's like an Italian family talking to their son or daughter about. Hey, why you look so sad? Everything's pretty good around you, so shut up. Yeah. But my dad would sing that like 30 years ago. And so I asked Alexa, I said, hey, play What's the Matter You? And it played, he goes, oh, we'll play Shut Up Your Face by Joe Domino or whatever his name was. I'm going, I didn't know that.
So Pat just blew my mind.
Pat did?
Pat just blew my mind.
No way.
He wrote.
No way Pat blows any mind.
Did you know that it is legal to hunt Bigfoot in Texas?
What? Okay. I guess. Do you need a license, Pat? Because you need a license to get a deer.
Don't you think it would be like, only in Texas could you have be able to kill something that no one knows exists, but if it does, let's shoot it. That is weird. That is so dumb.
I'm going to ask Chelsea about that because I mean, you always got to check Pat. Right?
I suspect Pat, you looked this up, didn't you? I bet you that is incredibly
who would look that
weird.
up? What type of person would even look that up? Like, going, can you hunt the Bigfoot? Like, we're talking about assimilating, and he's talking about hunting it.
Probably us should have looked it up before we started the show, but as usual, we didn't look up anything. But no, Pat says no. So Pat, you did look it up. How did you know that it was okay? Maybe you're just being facetious here.
What
is? I'm just going on Chelsea because she never screws up.
It is technically legal to hunt Bigfoot in Texas, according to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department.
Really?
Yeah. If Bigfoot is indigenous to Texas, then he would be considered a non-protected, non-game animal and could be hunted on private property with landowners' permission. Hey, the very fact that exists should tell you there's probably a book Bigfoot. They wouldn't write a law of something that didn't exist.
Okay. So here's the interesting one. So I asked Chelsea ChatGPT. I asked AI, and it said, no, you can't legally hunt Bigfoot. Okay, here's the interesting part. Bigfoot isn't a recognized species under wildlife law. There's no hunting season, no tag, no quota, nothing. If Bigfoot were real and you shot one, the law would treat it as shooting a person until proven otherwise. That's interesting, right? That's very interesting. And it says you also can't legally hunt unknown creatures because wildlife laws only apply to listed species. And in Washington, okay, so here's the opposite of Texas. In Washington, Skamania County, Washington passed an ordinance in 1969 making it illegal to kill Bigfoot. And then later it was updated to protect it as an endangered species, even though I don't think they've ever proven, well, no, they haven't proven that it's actually real. So there's two different philosophies there. One is shoot at will, and the other one is no, don't.
Well, all right. So Chelsea had a ethical and safety note saying, "Hey, you might mistake that for a person, so don't shoot it." Right? Like I said, it might be somebody from Portland in a flannel with bad posture and a beard, so don't shoot it.
True, but if you actually killed something and it was something, a species no one's ever seen before, and you weren't protecting yourself. I know it's a caveat. You weren't protecting yourself. Is that like beyond being like completely beyond asshole-ish? That seems super illegal, right? To me.
No, it says it is legal because it's not a protected animal.
But why would it be classified as an animal if they don't know what it is? Because it's humanoid, right? Human. It looks like a person.
Now they call it a cryptid, so I don't know what's a cryptid. Cryptid. That's the technical word for the Bigfoot.
Okay,
what the hell is a cryptid?
Cryptid. What's a cryptid? Okay, a creature that people claim exists, but science hasn't proven is real.
There you go. That's what makes it legal to hunt it in Texas, is that it's not a protected animal.
Yeah, now, what's interesting? Is it an animal, though?
It's not protected animal. It's a non-protected animal.
But what makes it? What makes it an animal? Like what?
It doesn't have a driver's license.
Lots of people don't have a driver's license. I don't think I'm allowed to hunt the guys that lost their license last Saturday night.
It doesn't have a state ID, so it's an animal. I don't know, man.
Okay, well, I guess there's two different things. One of it is it technically legal And is it morally right? And I would lean towards, don't go kill shit just for the hell of it, because you don't know what it is. That to me, what if we found out Bigfoot is smarter than people?
I would already say he is, because he doesn't hang around with us.
I was gonna lean into that, actually. Seems pretty smart. He's living off the grid, hanging out. Maybe they make the best whiskey on the planet, right? And we just don't know.
Pat just says, you docked me. You docked me. Use your words, Pat. Use your words.
Is that a misspelled doubt? Very misspelled.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
But
you remember when
Pat was right, where it's actually legal in Texas. Okay. If any of you big feeted out there are, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever, are listening to our podcast, get the hell out of Texas. You might want to go to Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Pat's got a wooded area right behind his house, so don't be sneaking through there if you're a Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So if there's any big feet out there listening, humanoid or cryptid, do not cross Pat's or neighbor Pat's backyard.
I just can't imagine being out in the woods and seeing what looks like just a person, but happens to be hairier, and thinking, I'm going to shoot that. That to me is pretty weird. Like, what if it's just a hairy person? Even if it's not a hairy person, it looks like a person and seems like kind of smart. That just seems really bizarre to me.
Yeah, depends on what kind of scope you got. The more detail, right? The more detail or less detail.
I don't know. I think that's more like.
What if you waved at it? What if you waved at it and says, "Hey, buddy," and it doesn't wave back? Then what? Well,
then you're thinking, well, he probably shouldn't wave back, because we have people have a bit of a record. You wonder why they're hidden. I know why they're hidden.
All right, so episode 218 has got to be our dumbest episode ever. So I'm glad you stuck to it to the end, and I doubt you'll listen to the next one.
I think that we will have a great new pop culture driven topic, and we'll weave in a little bit of business into there, because it's just we can't help it. It's gonna happen. But make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and go to mikeandblaine.com. Buy us a beer, and you can be one of our valued sponsors. And we're looking for sponsors to line up for 2026. We've had so many amazing beer sponsors the last few years. We just want to really double down and get a bunch of them in 2026. And let me say that we're on pace. If we haven't yet, we are on pace to have over 1 million views this year in 2026 on our content.
Did you see it?
No, where are we at?
871.
871. I expect we will pass 1 million views before the end of the year on our content. Now, that's not every episode. Let me get that straight. We have some shorts that are running away a little bit. They got a little bit of tailwinds, but there is some stuff that Mike and Blaine are saying that people are buying into, either because they agree or they think we're morons. I'm not sure if it's 50-50, but our content is catching a little fire. So if you want to be involved in a show that had over 1 million views on our content in 2025, go to mikeandblaine.com, buy us a beer, and you can be part of the movement, part of the momentum.
Altogether, over 1 million views. That one we're watching is the big one.
Right? It's kind of carrying the mail for us, but that said, it's still, hey, we got a lot of views going on here, so that's still pretty. It was something we're pretty proud of, that we will pass the. I think we probably have, actually almost guaranteed we've passed the 1 million mark already in 2025. So, be part of the movement, guys.
Check out their website at mikeandblaine.com. Then subscribe to the podcast and buy these guys a beer.